Hey there team, so this was a 4v4 I did yesterday on the frozen Lakebed. I'm playing as Gondor, first time I played as Gondor since the new patch. I like Gondor, I'm never really too successful with them, but I do have a fair bit of experience with them, so this wasn't me going in blind by any stretch, but there's new price changes, which I'll talk about when I run by them. I've got my Peligor Marines right there. They are going to be merged into this formation, but I just started the recording a little bit earlier than I expected. But hey, two Gondor archers up front. I'm going for an armor upgrade on both the Gondor archers, just one level, just so they can be a bit more resistant in terms of a skirmishing engagement. I talked about in the 1v1s. It's really important to my strategies that I either win or at least contest the skirmish phase of a battle. So they're pretty resilient as is, so just giving that one level of armor upgrade just for 25 florins as well now, it feels so worth it. And then I've got a marksman of Kerandros there in the centre. Behind them, 2 units of Gondor spears, as I say, fully armoured up just for 50 florins, just very worth it. Normally I would just have one unit of Gondor spearmen or one unit of spearmen behind my archer line, but going up against Khan there, I knew that I'd be reacting to a lot more cavalry charges than normal, so I needed them. Behind them, the guards of Osgiliath, a distance far enough, well, distance I felt was far enough away from the archer line that they're not going to be receiving any archer fire. If any archers want to get up into range of them, they've really got to push quite far into my archer. I want to say arrow net, but it sounds a bit weird to describe it like that. Then my Gondor infantry, 3 of them, again max armor and a melee upgrade. So I'm really I'm laying quite a lot of hope on these guys to make sure that they do some killing. A lot of the time men at arm units, they just get picked to bog enemies down, but I'm needing them to do some stuff today. Then some axemen here, again armor upgrades. I've got my general in the vanguard of King Elisar. I normally will go for the Wardens of the White Tower, but I just felt like I love the way the vanguards look, and I'm starting to appreciate Swordmaster units in extended engagements a lot more now than I used to. So I'm gonna be trying to use them a lot. Speaking of Swordmasters, got these guys, the Raven Helms of Kerandros. No upgrades to them. They just come as standard. The Pinnith Gallant Cavalry, Gallant Cavalry. 2 of them. I'm really not too bothered about the standard Gondor Cav. I never get anything done with them, whereas these guys have 15 charge bonus, which I think is more than enough. Then the Nimlothian Honor Guard. Another reason why I've got the 2 spear units up at the front there is because I have these Nimlothian Honor Guard here to float around and respond to any threats coming in behind us. And I've also got the Peligor Marines, which I actually decided to put them right here on the front line today. And I'll explain why I did that when it comes around to the actual battle. To my right, I've got Next, playing as the Dwarves of Erebor. 2 units of Ironfoot Spears here on the side with some Blacklock Engineers, laying down his stakes up front. Axe Guard of Erebor in the back there, some Highborns of Erebor there. Then here he's got a nice mixed in line of Ironfoot Pikes and the Ironfoot Warriors, so it's just about as tough a phalanx as you can really get. Then 2 units of Ironfoot Crossbows and a Catapult. And then Erebor Legionnaires here, some Hammer Guard there to smash down enemy cav, and that's about that. So it's well, I guess there's more units here than you're counting because of this just mixed force in the centre, but still not too big. The Blacklock Engineers, and the Hammer Guard will be costing a fair bit. The rules for this was 1 artillery piece per person. I don't want to put too many rules on games right now while I'm still getting to grips with the new patch, so I want to just be very free, and I know that's definitely going to have us fall into a few pitfalls over the time, but I think it's better. Reforged, you don't really need to put many rules on Reforged anyway, it is pretty balanced as it comes. So Riders of the Golden Wood there. Then in the back, some of these Lornand Swordmasters. Another unit of Swordmasters over on the other side. This is by Wilson. Some Eldar Council. Some Spears of the Wood there. More Spears of the Wood. Nice sort of symmetrical formation for the most part. Lornand Spearmen. Yeah, so lots of spears, but going up against Rohan, so makes a lot of sense. And then Lorinand archers, more Lorinand archers on the side there, and some axemen up the front, 3 units off them, and then some march wardens off the wood. Now there is also a ranger unit hiding somewhere. I caught sight of it before. No, it's disappeared from me, but I think it's somewhere around here anyway. I can't remember what the Lothlorien Ranger unit is called, but I'll try and call them out when I see them. Then we've got Khazad-dûm, played by Cole. Nice tight formation there. Wow, the Hammers of Gundabad. Is that an armor upgrade for them that they've got now? Because they used to be green. They look really good with that. And then the Warriors of Khazad-dûm. That's 2 units on top of each other, I think. That, or they're just really tight. Yeah, no, it must be. Yeah, it's 2 units just jammed right on top of each other. Very good. I think he's probably just still assembling his men. Yeah, of course. We'll have another look at this before the match actually starts. 2nd Legion Axe Guard, some Legion Bodyguard there. 2 units of Orc Hunters of Khazad-dûm. Those Orc Hunters, yeah, they must have had. They've either had a reskin or an armor upgrade there. Some 1st Legion Pikes, and yep, another 4th Legion Shield Guard there. Then some more Warriors of Khazad-dûm, Mithril Guard, some Khazad-dûm Reclaimers, some Shield Guard, and in the back there some more Axe Guard. So yeah, nice, I would say balanced as far as Khazad-dûm goes. So I knew I was going up against Kant. I explained why I had my spears laid out as I did. But yeah, the reason I plopped I wasn't too sure where to put them. Put the Pilgrim Marines right here, but then I jumped them there. That's just so that, say, if a very high quality unit of enemy knights or just very armoured cavalry slams into my front line, the spears may not really be enough to kill it quickly. So a good volley of Pilgrim Marine fire might be just the ticket. So I knew that next was going to be playing pretty defensive. So I didn't. Over there playing as Khazad-dûm, we've got Cole. I did say that. I knew that next was going to be playing quite defensive, and Cole did also mention that he was, he was wanting to set up this little defensive line and just try and hold out, at least in the beginning. But so I knew that we'd kind of be holding back. I've got a pretty balanced army. I can do both. I could be aggressive or I could defend, shuffling around quite a bit. I'm always wanting to be close to my allies, so I wanted to deploy right on the wall. And yeah, so I was going to hang back, wait and see what Khan did in the beginning. Something that I can't remember who it was that mentioned it, but we do have Erebor and Khazad-dûm on our side, and back in 0.96 that used to be a very deadly combination. More so on a siege, but even on a pitch battle, it was very difficult in a 4v4 to kill off 2 dwarven factions. But you know, we're all still in the experimenting stage, and we'd all had just quite a few failed games before that point anyway. I do love the surge in popularity that comes every time we get a patch and stuff like that. It's what we need. But I'm looking forward to a lot of the new players learning that just because they've got a good computer, that doesn't mean that they can play this game on high graphics. It's nothing to do with your computer, I'm afraid. It's well, it is, but it's mainly the game that's struggling. So we're because once they all learn that, we'll get back to having some nice stable games. But it is nice seeing just the servers really populated. Apart from that, yeah, and it's great to just see some new names popping up as we're playing. I'll jump up the speed a bit. Surely it won't take too much longer to finish up. But as I say, so that was something that we knew was going to be an issue, and but we were just wanting to see how this went. So I'll slow it on down for a minute. Over on the side here, I knew that there was a possibility Khan would bring the Hwacha. Now the Hwacha is very deadly to my sort of formations, so as soon as we started I was looking out for it, and if I saw it, I would of course immediately start to reorganize my formation and get everything worked out in a more resistant fashion. But I've got Master Blaster over here, and he's got a nice mix. He's like, this is what I really like to do with Kant. I like to use the Nurad units. I love the Nurad footmen. I enjoy the Nurad halberdiers. And he's got them mixed up really nice here. That's a good sizable force. Over the side here, we've got the Nurad Storm Guard. Behind them, a Brotherhood of the Axe. So all of this, AP Nurad footmen, AP halberds. I'm pretty sure the Storm Guard are AP and AP Axemen. So suddenly my nice shiny silver full plate Gondor army is not looking so great. We've got the nomadic marauders who now throw javelins as well instead of axes, so they're AP. And yeah, this was a bit scary. Nomadic scouts, sorry, they're throwing javelins too now instead of axes. So AP. So I was a little bit scared, but I still knew that my men have quality. Even despite the armor, we're still better. Chieftain's Vanguard over here, and then Varia Cataphracts, and some Nurad Windblades. So of course the Nurad Windblades making my Peneth Gallant Cavalry a bit fearful. So be watchful for that, and some nomadics. Oh, sorry, I did point out the nomadic scouts. I'm sure he's got some nomadic cavalry somewhere too, but maybe I was mistaken. Then to his side, we've got Revan of Korriban, playing as Rudar. I've not managed to play as Rudar yet since the change, so I'll be paying a fair bit of attention to see how he does here. The Dunman Pikes there, always a very solid choice. The Coldfell Maidens have gotten a reskin. Damn, they look cool. Yeah, I definitely want to, just as we're coming to the end of the last patch, or the last version, I was really starting to try and use the Coldfell Maidens a lot more, because I knew they would be getting some changes. So yeah, I'm gonna try to experiment with them a bit more. I've fallen in love with melee cavalry a fair bit, and I know the Coldfell Maidens aren't melee cavalry, but they do get a bonus against Cav, and they of course hurl their javelins at Cav. So, more Troll Hunters here, and in the back some Hereditary Nobles, some Hereditary Berserkers. Of course, they've just not suffered, certainly not suffered some changes. They've actually received some nice buffs. They've got 2 hit points now, so they've really gone up to being an elite tier troop, and I'm quite fond of that because I don't use them too much. So I'll definitely be trying them out a bit more now. Some Hereditary Pikes there, and some more Dunman Pikes. Sad about the Hereditary Pikes going into the red limit after 1 choice now, but I don't think that's going to change my strategy too much. Usually I would go for 2 of them and then 1 Dunman Pikes. Now I'm probably just going to be going for 2 Dunman Pikes and 1 of them. So it's really not a big change for me. And then he's got a ballista up front here. The ballistas, the artillery pieces of Rudar, of course, still commanded by the orcs. It's not really a big deal either way, but hopefully that's something we'll maybe get changed at one point or another, but certainly not an urgent thing. Got Rohan here. I'm going to call him Leopard. I'm not going to attempt that name here. Got some Riders of the Fold with an E. Yeah, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, magic E's and such. Riddermark Skirmishers there. Red Shield of Erkenbrand. Yeah, damn, they look great. Yeah, Rohan's gotten a lot of new unit models and stuff, so it's nice. Riddermark Cav. Some Air Red of Aldberg, and some more of them. And then in the back here, the 1st Marshal's Bodyguard, the Sons of Eol, and Westmark Infantry here. Westmark Marshals. Some Medusa-led Guard. Some Eastmark Spears, Helmingas, and that's that. So certainly not a completely dedicated cavalry force, which you can see a lot with Rohan. So I'm pretty glad that they have gone for a bit of a mix here. It's always nice to your allies if you've at least got some infantry on the ground to hold your position. You're not just a roaming cav force. For Linden Archers here, there's 1 unit of Ferlinden Archers and 1 unit of Harlinden Guard. And is that all he's got, archer-wise? Seems to be. Noldor Guard here. Harlinden Infantry. A Catapult. Some Noldoran Blade Masters. Horse Lords there. Some Mithlon Sword Masters. Noldoran Guard again. Harlinden Infantry. Some Marines over there. Mithlon Sword Masters and Mithlon Pikes. Okay, cool. She's no doubt got something that's hiding. But we'll get cracking. So, as always, I will be paying a lot more attention to what I'm doing, but I will try and catch sight of what's going on over on this side of the field. Music's kind of mixing up a bit here, but yeah, immediately, Master Blaster is going on the offensive. Now, as I said, I knew that this was a possibility, so I've decided to go into defense. Now he's doing something very clever here, which is actually targeting next with these charges. Nurad Windblades, I see them moving up, and I know that the Nurad Windblades don't have a great charge, so I decided to just hold position, and this was a good chance for me to try and kill a few of them with my Pelargon Marines and with my spears. The Cataphracts, however, perhaps shouldn't have let them charge, but I still managed to catch them with my spears, get a good few stabs, try to grab my other unit of spears. I should have wrapped them around like that. But, yeah, Pelargon Marines still unloading shots onto these Windblades. They got away, so as I said, multiple wound model, always going to be difficult to do much damage to them, but I'd like to think I hurt these guys quite a bit. Gave them a quick charge with my Cav, certainly not wanting to stay in combat with those. No, yeah, slowed it down a bit, and then the infantry charge is coming, and it's coming fast, so grab my guards of Osgiliath, and I know I need to face them head on with my pikes if I'm wanting to have a chance in this. So while that's all shuffling around, I'll have a quick glance at what everybody else is doing. Erebor, so next, who I thought was going to be incredibly defensive, actually goes into a pretty aggressive move. I think he wants to try and deal with this ballista up front. Can't really have that sitting bombing away at him, and it's already destroyed his catapult. That's why he brought the ballista. Clever. Yeah, that took out that fast. Yeah. Okay. Then over here, Rohan engaging some horse archer battles here. A lot of the times I find very cheap horse archers, but done en masse, can come out on top against some of the sort of more expensive elven ones. This catapult here is still online, hammering away every one of these dwarves that we lose. Of course, very upsetting. He's got them nice and spaced out, nice and spread, but still a smash to these would be upsetting. And yeah, that's sort of all he can really do unless he wants to be aggressive. And being aggressive when you've got such a heavy cav force next to you is frightening. So, as for, I'm definitely sort of in the most of the fight here. Luckily receiving some assistance from next. There are Windblades, I try to come in for a quick charge. But every time I do this I need to get in, get out. He's hurt my Pelargon Marines pretty bad. And now we're engaging all the way along the front. As usual, my infantry are coming out sort of on top. But we're getting hammered by these javelins, and this is really where I would love to have my cav hit these nomadic forces. But he's still got the cataphracts, he's still got the windmills, and I'm just not able to really freely run around. So as you see here, really just sturdy push, and the AP from all of these units is going to be making some real gains against my forces. Good shot right on the back of my Kyrandral Swordmasters, so that's unfortunate. But there's nothing I could really... What I was wanting to do here was there was two blobs. I knew that this one was not going to go away anytime soon, but this one I could wipe it out. And once I wiped that out, I could come in for a full surround and take out this whole force. So that's why I managed to get this unit of Panaskellian cavalry out. I would have loved to hit them there, but these Windblades were guarding. So what did I decide to do? I think, yeah, no, I just had to run back. I couldn't just lose this force. Actually, no, I decided to go for it. Good. Ran this force to try and engage the Windblades because there were only 20 of them, whereas my larger force, I don't think they didn't get their lances down in time. Damn. Yeah, that would have been fantastic. Even though they've not gotten their lances down, and they're certainly not melee cav, just them being behind is enough to break this force. And I know I need to just take all of these men now and wrap them on around. As for Rudar and the dwarves are being very aggressive. As I say, they've got no catapult. They sort of need to go for it. But Rudar has a lot of armor piercing at their disposal, and they've managed to get all these pikes down. Right now these legionaries are winning because of course they're legionnaires. Is that an armor upgrade on them? I think it is, yeah. But I think in time, once these pikes sort of stabilise, I think the pikes are going to start pulling through there, at least a little bit. Pikes of course don't have the AP on them, but they should do alright. Revan's even able to... Ooh, wow, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Damn, they went down. So that's the... Like, those are the knockdown arrows. Yeah. Surely doing a lot of damage as well, no doubt. Yeah, that looks great. So, Axemen, but all of Rudar's units have very poor armor, and the Axemen, of course, lacking any sort of shield, which at least saves some of the Rudar units. Damn. Good. So, that's really going to hamper that charge. As for Khazad-dûm, he is, yeah, he just seems to be wanting to hold back and take this fire, which I don't blame him for. Helminga is holding their ground. Yeah, as this infantry force shouldn't really be used aggressively. It's more just there to, I would say, assess your friends and as I say, just have yourself holding ground on the map. Is just quite an important thing. I managed to break out, but he had so many units in this blob that he was able to turn around and rush out at me. So I've gotten a bit of a surround, but it wasn't what I wanted. It's still, things are sort of turning in my favour. Even though we are still outnumbered all the way along the line, I'm sort of winning in some stages, or some places. Yeah, it sort of looks like he's winning all the way along the front. But at least no more marauders throwing their javelins at me, and I've still got some Pilgrim Marines to fire away at. And I saw... yes, no. So he's still trying to shut me down with his cav. I get a good quick volley on these wind blades. But those wind blades will be able to tank quite a bit of damage. Get the spearmen around, just wanting to complete this surround, really break this side. He's got the Chieftain's Vanguard, of course exceptional in a lot of ways, but not really got a charge. So I'm happy enough if he wants to just keep slamming them into my Gondor archers.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
I believe. Actually, I don't know. That's probably Master Blaster. But I'm quite soon to follow. Right now we're 27 for 27, which is a pretty cool, pretty damn close for a 4v4. Ooh, I'm firing off some... That's a bad waste of ammunition there. Gondor archers really should be picking a different target. Even if they were just firing at these Chieftain's Vanguard, that would be better. Got the Ironfoot Spears, and some Axe Guard here just clattering against these black walls. Such a messy little fight here. But yeah, there's me going down now. So, but I'm going to say excessive numbers of Rudar are just able to pull off moves like this against a vastly outnumbered Dwarven force. You know, you've just got so many more units than them. You can curl around them. You can do whatever you really want. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, because they've got a good shot right on the back of that ballista. That's well done from Revan. And then these Legionnaires, you know, and the Highborn, some exceptional quality troops, but they're just getting outranged by the pikes. Black Wolves are certainly no slouches, and the Herenidane pikes are better than most, so it's going to be over for them pretty fast. Rudar Axemen coming in and out of the against the Lothlorians. Now I think it looks like it, yeah. So unfortunately, Leopard lost connection. And we gave him a good little while, but no, he was not returning. So we had to kick him out, which was really sad, because he's still got so many exceptional troops. These Sons of the Ill, even, or even if, say, this unit of Riddermark Cav, if he had gotten that unit of Riddermark Cav all the way over to me, and just come in for a quick charge against the back of my Gondorian infantry here, like what is happening with these Varia Cataphracts. But the issue is these Varia Cataphracts they're so low in number right now that they just can't be as devastating as they need to be. So it's I think that had those Rohirrim been running around right now, we would be in a lot of trouble. But I've managed to almost finish up Master Blaster. As you can see, even every time I think I've surrounded him, he manages to break through somewhere. So we've basically turned all the way around at this point. You know, I tried to flank him, and then he's broken through the main line. There's still some Storm Guard that I'm seeing, and there's still the Brotherhood of the Axe remaining, so they won't go down too easy. But a lot of numbers of the Nimlothian Honor Guard and Gondorian Spearmen coming right into the backs of these guys. They're not going to be lasting too much longer. Cav still cycling in and out. He worked out actually that you know, the Varia Cataphracts could probably just be better used destroying my archer line. So, because I've got so many spears and pikes on the front here that it was just an easy target for him to go for my archers and take them out, so that, say, when I faced one of his allies, I didn't have any archers to fall back on. Yeah, so they're not going to be lasting too much longer, but I wasn't too worried. You know, I was happy enough with them doing that, as long as I was able to destroy this infantry force. Rudar managing to sort of take on what's left of the dwarves here. Say just all the dwarves are just getting utterly surrounded. Some Hereditary nobles, 3 of them left there. Javelins used up all their stuff. Oh, Ironfoot warriors there. Frodrum javelins. I don't know if they're anti-cav in melee, but I don't know if they are armor piercing as well. So even if they aren't, they're still pretty good fighters. So it's that's gonna be a tough fight for the Ironfoot warriors. If the pikes can get up, line up along that line, they can just start mowing down it. But I don't think he's gonna let him do all that. Lothlorien, as I say, because Rohan's not really a threat, Lothlorien can really line up like this and just rattle into what's left of Rudar. And over here, Cole has decided to make a move. He can't have much ammunition left with that catapult, but I guess he's seeing what's going on in the rest of the battlefield, and he feels he needs to. And also, of course, Rohan losing connection. He knows his flank's a little bit safe. I'm going to go back up to normal speed now, actually. I think we can. So I've yet to play as any of the Elven factions since the new patch, but I definitely want to try out Mirkwood again. And Lothlorien was someone that I think I only actually ever played once online as Lothlorien in the previous patch. So I keep saying patch, the previous version. So I'll try and get a game as them done too. But yes, these Mithlon pikes. Oh, they were not able to really get their pikes down before that slam from these hammers of Gundabad hit them. Now that they've got them, they'll start to stabilize, but I think it might be too late. They suffered a lot of damage from that quick charge, and they're sort of out of position here. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. Mithlon pikemen are certainly, you know, elven pikes. They're good, so it's you can't really just getting them out of position is not going to make them fall away as you would with say orc or human pikes. Still, finally managing to surround and just wipe out what's left of these Murad units. Still taking slams from Varia Cataphracts, and Rudar is setting up to come at me. Still got some Ironfoot pikes. Not Ironfoot pikes, Ironfoot spears, sorry. And some Axe Guard even, so that's quite damaging. I would maybe take them, I don't know. Yeah, I think he's probably looking for trying to get a slam on the back of these berserkers, but. And as soon as that was done, I tried to just grab everything I had and form up, because I didn't spot these Rudar forces until about, well, in game, probably about 30 seconds ago. So I needed to just get into position as quickly as I could to face them off. Trollshot axe throwers still had some axes to throw. And I have a lot of heavily, well actually axes aren't armor piercing anymore, so you know, my guys nice and armored with a shield, they could probably withstand that for a little bit, coming at us from the front anyway. He came at me with the Hereditary nobles, but I managed to beat him back, but he's still got his general standing. Go into a quick charge. I do not want them to throw off some axes. I couldn't tell whether the Herenidane Berserkers still had axes to throw or not, but I needed to take them out. So even though I've got very small units left, I've still got quite a lot of units, so I took my chance to really start to get around him. Again, this was a situation where I knew my men would be superior to his. Axemen coming in from the flank here for a quick charge. I'm about to be flanked by his axemen, but I've got my guards of his Gilead coming in. Yeah, oh wow. Yeah, so that was they were from the Herenidane Berserkers. Yeah, so he tried to form up really close to me. I allowed them to get that charge. I really should have grabbed these guys out and met them. Good, so that was his general killed. Now Rudar for an evil men faction has exceptional morale, but they're still nothing in comparison to some of the more into comparison with some of the good factions. So losing your general when you're surrounded by some kind of frightening units, you're gonna break pretty soon. Yeah, see a lot of these units are shaking. Mine are all pretty steady. The Berserkers will no doubt give them some sort of buff, but we'll see how long they last. Lothlorien shuffling around. Master Blaster's Cataphracts have come over here, just try and mess some things up. It's always good, when you've got a big battlefield and you've got Cav, and it's a 4v4 scenario where people are just not paying attention. Just why not send your boys over somewhere else and deal a really stinging blow to somebody that's not ready for you. Warriors of Khazad-dûm taking on these Swordmasters. Swordmasters, of course, especially Mythlon Swordmasters, pretty exceptional, but not really going to last against those numbers for long. Mythlon Marines, unlike Florindan Marines, are swords and shields in melee, so so you can really sort of abuse them with Cav a bit. That's not our Cav though. I saw that and I thought that was a Lothlorien Cav unit for some reason. I do love the Wardens of Elostirion. I think looks wise, yeah, they're my favourite ranger unit. And sort of style, yeah, they're pretty damn cool. I love the really white cloaks that they wear. And yeah, so what's going on with me over here? Again, we've got the Rudar forces. Oh, they're managing to just totally surround me here with these berserkers. But I turned around with my infantry to match them. I've got the Elisar's Vanguard here cutting into a few of them. Still 10 of them left. And I think he realised I was about to surround him. Most of his men were running, so he just gets them out, which is smart, No point just wasting your units now when you've still got allies on the field. I've got to move, I've got to attack somebody, so if you want to just run away, then you can stalk me for a while, which... We'll see what's going on with Linden, but we'll probably bump up the speed in a second. Yeah, Linden is just just heavily outnumbered here now. That was so attacking the Rohan forces, even, I mean, it kind of just shows how powerful that they would have been, really. These Red Mark skirmishers have their big axes and melee, so that's good for up against these dwarves' armor. Perhaps not quite good enough for the Mithril Guard armor, but hey. No, so yeah, we'll speed up, because as I say, Linden down here is just about finished. Unless these guys still have some ammunition left, probably not too much they can do. So I have finished with the Rudar force and I start moving off. So as I say, I was watching out for the Berserkers behind us, but I was just gathering my forces together and heading over toward Rohan. So this is of course at this point is a victory for us. I don't think it would have gone that way, to be honest, if Rohan was here. I think if Rohan didn't leave, he could have definitely been stupid with his cav, because we can see Lothlorien's still got a lot of his men, and if Rohan just focused 1v1 against Lothlorien, who's to say what could have happened, and because I think Linden versus Cole versus this Textidane, I think Lyndon would have won that little scrap, but I couldn't say that for certain, but I think he would have, and that would have left a few of these Lyndon forces to attack. Even if Lothlorien had won against Rohan, which I think he probably would have. He had an army to sort of beat a lot of Cav, a lot of archers to sort of outrange everything that Rohan's got on horseback, and a lot of spears to take out anything else. So I think Lothlorien would have pulled through with that, but it wouldn't have been much. And I think that Rohan, as I say, like one unit of Rohan Cav coming to assist Khand. Now this is something that I, of course, didn't have to do this, but I saw this unit of Berserkers coming in, and I kind of just wanted to test the Elisar's Vanguard and also sort of test the Hernadane Berserkers. So just hurling about 8. Oh, nice point blank archer volley there. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to test how the improvements, I guess, in the Hernadane Berserkers, because I did know the capabilities of the Vanguard of King Elisar. So. And I was quite impressed. I know I always knew that they were, of course, going to win because they outnumbered us so heavily, but they did good there. And then I just kept on walking. But so he'll come at me again. Then I just sort of absolutely surround him with what I've got left, and I just start shooting through. Yeah, as I say, that's not really tactics. That's just I needed to we needed to finish this off just so that. So that I got an ending battle screen. That was really the only reason. So no, all in all, I would have really loved to see what would have happened had Rohan not left. I think it would have been very close, but to be honest, I think that they would have won. I just think that with us losing the Dwarven Catapult immediately to that ballista, and just basically Rudar's fantastic composition, and it wasn't just his composition; it was very sort of skillful what he was able to do there. So I wouldn't have been able to deal with what was left of Rudar had I had some Rohan Cav circling around me, and I think had Rohan, say, taken his little infantry force, just plonked them right there in front of Lothlorien, so that Lothlorien needs to keep thinking about him. And if he had just taken all of his Cav and just spread them about the map, assisted whoever he felt needed to be assisted, that could have been great. Really could have hurt us. As I say, just one unit of Cav, one unit of Lances just coming in and striking me in the back while I was surrounding Master Blaster's forces would have been enough to finish me off. Kills are of course massively inflated by just killing the Rohirrim at the end there, because I just came in and sliced down through the army there. So can't really trust those kills. Can trust the King Elisar's Vanguard kills, and a lot of the Raven Helms, they would have done so much more, but they received like 2 full units worth of javelins from those pneumatic scouts. So I'm definitely going to be picking them again. It wasn't anything against them that lost them so many. Axemen, they did good. I do sometimes feel, well, I guess in relation to a lot of other sort of Axemen unit, the Axemen of Lossarnach are they're higher quality, and they seem to be a bit more resilient to, they don't die as quickly in melee. Especially if you armor them up really nice. Guards of Osgiliath, of course, racking up a lot of kills there. They were up against a lot of halberdiers, so I find that pikes can generally beat halberdiers, because you've just got that extra range, which is always nice. But no, so that was nice, and they were supported so much by the infantry. My Gondor infantry there, yeah, I poured a lot of money into them, but they were fighting so much that had AP. All of the Nurad units have AP, so it makes sense why that happened, and just them being there allowed the Guards of Osgiliath and allowed everybody else to rack up the kills that they did. So I'm certainly not disappointed with that. Nimlothian Honor Guard. I remember I was speaking to, I think I was speaking to somebody in one of Umad's videos, and we were just discussing the difference between basically Nimlothian Honor Guard and like the other elites of Gondor, and I think I always vastly underestimated the Nimlothian Honor Guard, so I'm probably going to be shelving the Wardens of the White Tower for a while and just really going for the Nimlothian Honor Guard more and more. Gondor Spears, yeah, I needed them. I needed both of them up the front, and they can hold their own in melee up against infantry, but like generally, just dealing so much damage to those 2 hit point, the Nurad Windblades and the Cataphracts early on was important. The archers, they never really got a great shot. They were kind of there just distracting enemy cav and kind of peppering enemy forces. So no, I'm okay with that. The marksmen of Caer Andros, I would kind of wanted them to rack up a few more kills, just considering their capabilities in melee. But saying that, they never really got a fight. They never really got a fair face-to-face fight. They were only ever being charged or things like that. So it's fair. Pellagra Marines kind of are something I was kind of sad about, but at the same time, those 11 kills, every one of their javelins went into a 2 hit point cav unit. So that's okay. That's the way it's got to be. And the Penithgillen calves, I really do wish. Of course, I understand why they don't have one, but I do wish that Gondor had an anti-cav. It's just yeah, going up against Canned, I probably shouldn't have brought 2 units of Penithgillen cav. I probably should have brought 1 and just poured a bit more money into infantry, because I knew that was because I'm never really going to beat Cann's horses on horseback, so it's fair. But maybe I should have been a little bit more bold with them. I should have sacrificed them in a few charges, just kind of like got them in there, and it's like, yeah, sure, the Windblades will catch them, but one brutal charge early on could have won me those blob fights, and maybe maybe that's what I should have done. So yeah, all in all, it was a fun fight. I looking forward to a few of the newer guys knowing their limits, and hopefully game's not really crashing out too much. But no, thank you very much.